all in all, preseason poll really doesn't mean shit. You got to actually go play the games, but I'm kind of
ultimately what it comes down to.
Yeah, but I kind of want to get talking about college basketball. Like I'm eager. I'm really eager. Now, before we talk about college football, I have a little piece of wisdom for you. This partly goes into like preseason rankings and who's better on paper. Basically, this guy was talking about how this hockey team they were using analytics like too much. They were like they were talking about the Blue Jays. They were talking about how the Blue Jays took out Jose Barrios because the analytics said you had to put in a lefty and Yusei Kikuchi, this. And this guy's like, well, they need to. One of the guys on this podcast was talking about how, like, oh, well, you know, they have to answer to the analytics and this and this and this and this and this. This guy goes, I'll give you a story. The tortoise and the hare. He's like, the analytics were all over the hare in that one. It's almost like that's why you still play the games. Analytics don't mean anything when you play the games.
It seems like a little bit of an extreme exaggeration, but just a little bit.
He's like, the analytics loved the hair in that matchup.
The analytics loved the hair.
The analytics loved the hair. Just remember that whenever you're looking into your big box of numbers like I like to do.
Oh, my God.
Let's talk about college football. Last week,
I think I took a beating this week.
I went 20-6, which I think is pretty good. I like to 20 wins with 20 wins out of 26. I'll take that as a successful week.
Oh, absolutely.
Jackson with a dreadful 16-10.
Okay, well that's not.
It's a winning record. It's a winning record.
Okay, compared to your record, you were like, 20-6. I'll gladly take that, and then 4 games lower.
That is 4 games that I made up. I now have a 2-game lead sitting at 123-39. Jackson is at 121-41. So I have a lead.
I'm proud of our score so far, man.
What do you say?
I'm proud of our score so far.
We've been doing well. I think that because I think like 16-10, that's the worst either of us has done, which that's still a winning record by 6 games. So that's still. I
love that you had to point that out. It's like that's definitely the worst that anybody's ever done so far.
I think I went 18-8 last week, so something like that. I don't know. We do have like 9 minutes, so we're gonna go through some of these games kind of quick. There are some good ones though. All right, quickly. UCF at Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
An undefeated ranked Air Force at Navy.
That's going to be a tough one. Navy is 3-3. Yeah. They have the home field advantage. I'll go with Air Force still.
I'd go with Air Force too. They put a beating on my beloved Wyoming Cowboys. Mississippi State at Arkansas. I have no idea for this one.
I don't know about either of these teams really. Arkansas is dog shit. Wow.
I'm going to actually take Arkansas just because they're at home.
Mississippi State isn't much to write home about either, but I'll take Mississippi State.
Okay. Next, a game that I won't be at, but Rutgers at IU. Man, IU had the lead on Michigan, bro. They had the lead in the first quarter.
For the first
quarter. For the first quarter, they had a lead. I was so excited.
The first quarter.
For people
it was really funny to go onto Twitter and see so many people freaking out. They're like, oh, this is our game. This is our time. And then Michigan scored 21 unanswered points.
They scored 52 unanswered points.
Well, 21 in the second quarter. Then
so here's the thing. If you guys don't know, IU's offensive coordinator was fired after the Akron game.
Yep.
And they hired a new one or just put someone in place. His name's Luke Casey or something. I don't know. I remembered his name and then I forgot it. So I had a bye week and then they played Michigan. So they had 2 weeks to prepare for Michigan. And coming out of the gate, they're running the ball on running downs. They're throwing the ball on passing downs. I'm like, holy cow, we have an offensive coordinator that actually knows what he's doing. They drove down the field like effortlessly the first drive and then threw a pick. But I'm like, all right, they
Yeah.
are at least moving the ball.
They could have gone up 14 nothing.
Second drive, they're doing the same thing. They pull out this beauty of a trick play, screen pass behind the line. They throw it deep to Lucas, touchdown. I'm like, holy cow!
It was a bad read by the Michigan safety.
I'm like, extend this man for life. And then they kind of fell apart. Still though, we might have an offensive coordinator that knows what he's doing.
it's like the moment when you're learning to ride a bike and like you get it for half a second and you're like, yeah, I got it. Then you immediately fall off again.
That's better than immediately falling off. I use beating Rutgers at home. I'm taking them.
I'm taking Rutgers.
Okay.
I use bad, man.
I
don't know if you realize
But is
this.
Rutgers that great though?
Well, I mean, they're 5-2. They're better than our 2 wins that we have.
But who have they beaten though?
Who is IU beaten?
I don't know. We'll see. I'm
Answer me that.
I'm somehow going to be watching I'm going to be attending a worse football team, and I'll get to that later. Baylor at Cincinnati quickly.
Cincy.
I gotta say Baylor because Cincinnati's been very mid. Washington State at Oregon.
Like Baylor's been much better. Washington
no,
at Oregon.
Haven't. They really have.
Oh, Washington State at Oregon, you said?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Oregon.
Oregon.
That was a great game between Washington. That was a great game.
Fantastic. It really could have gone either way. Obviously.
Yeah, former IU. I got so many messages that were to the amount of what do you feel? How do you feel that a former IU QB is about to win the Heisman? And I'm like, isn't that great?
Give me Oregon.
Quickly, South Carolina at Missouri.
Mizzou.
I gotta take Mizzou. They've been hot. North Texas at a ranked Tulane.
I might just be taking all the ranked ones just because we're at such a close time. Tulane.
I agree. Minnesota at Iowa. This is what's funny. Iowa's offensive coordinator has to go at least 7-5 and average 28 points a game to keep his job. And they're like 6-1, averaging like 19 points a game. So I'm going to take Iowa just because of the defense.
Give me the Hawks.
The defense is nuclear good.
Give me the Hawks.
Northwestern at Nebraska.
Nebraska.
I agree. I don't have enough confidence in Northwestern to pull the upset.
Is just such a bad football team.
Oklahoma State at West Virginia. The Oklahoma State actually helped me out because Jackson picked Kansas. I picked Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State helped me out.
God damn, yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm going to take OSU again because they helped me out last week. I'm going to take them again.
I'm going to do West Virginia.
Okay. The game that I will be at, the 4-3 Central Michigan Chippewas are playing the 1-6 Ball State Cardinals.
Wow. Remember when we thought for a second they could beat Georgia?
I am taking Ball State. Chirp, chirp, baby. It's my buddy's birthday, so we're going up there.
Central Michigan.
You're taking Central Michigan?
Yeah.
All right.
1-7 is a bad record.
They're
1-6.
I don't know. I gotta have faith in the team that I'm gonna be rooting for. Texas.
I can't believe they played Georgia.
Texas at Houston.
I'm
going Texas.
Texas, yeah.
Texas, they got to get to that rematch with Oklahoma. We'll see if they can get there. UNC, still undefeated, hosts Virginia.
Hosts Virginia. UNC.
I agree. Texas Tech at BYU. BYU got killed in a game when we both picked them. They got murdered by TCU.
Yeah.
Although Texas Tech's not been much better. I'm going to take BYU.
I'll take BYU too.
All right.
We'll give them a second chance.
Ole Miss at Auburn. I don't know why you picked Auburn to beat LSU on the road.
Well, LSU isn't great this year. Ole Miss.
I am going to take Auburn just because they're at home.
Oh my god! You can't say that my pick was bad when you're
picking Auburn at home is never a bad decision.
You can't say my pick was
picking
bad
Auburn on the road. Picking Auburn on the road is a bad decision.
When
Picking
you're
Auburn at
literally-
home is a good decision.
Oh my god!
You're taking Ole Miss?
Yeah, taking
All
Ole
right.
Miss.
TCU at Kansas State. This is like a 50-50 game. I don't even know.
TCU.
I'll take Kansas State then. I don't know. That's tough, but you take it. All right. Michigan at Michigan State.
Go blue.
I would say Michigan could keep it close, but they're just not good. They're dreadful
They
this
don't have a
year.
head coach anymore.
That's a team that I think IU's better than. I'm not even kidding. I think IU's
Is that
better.
Michigan State?
Yes. Florida State at Duke. Duke at Florida State.
I thought you meant for a second Michigan, and I was like, did you see the score last week?
No.
Uh,
Duke at Florida State.
It's
Ranked
going to be a
matchup.
good game, I'd say. Give me Florida State still. At home. Yeah.
I agree. I think they can give Florida State some problems, but ultimately FSU's better and they're at home. Army at LSU. I think we're both picking LSU.
Yeah.
Utah at USC. Holy cow, Caleb Williams is the biggest fraud in college football. He was awful. Awful against Notre Dame.
Three interceptions.
In the first half, after everyone was telling me the Bears should pick him. Jesus. Everything I said, I picked USC because I didn't think Notre Dame would be the team to do it. But everything I said about USC that would eventually happen to them happened to them. Frauds. Give me Utah.
I'll take USC still.
I just don't know how USC rebounds from a game like that. So you're taking USC?
Yeah.
Clemson at Miami. Two disappointing teams. I am taking Clemson. I am never picking Miami when they're playing anyone good. Sorry.
Yeah, I might have to take Clemson too. Well, I mean, they got the same record. They're on the road.
I think Clemson's just better.
I'll take Clemson.
Arizona State at Washington. A Washington team that is creeping up near the top 5.
They're in the top 5.
Or yeah, they're in the top 5. I think they'll beat Arizona State. You think they'll beat Arizona State?
Are you being serious right now?
I think Washington beats Arizona State.
Oh! I thought you said you were picking Arizona
No.
State. Oh, okay.
Arizona State's dreadful.
Yeah.
This year.
Give me Washington.
And
Give me
then
Washington.
last before the two big games, UCLA Stanford.
Give me.
Stanford did beat Colorado. I'm taking UCLA though.
Yeah, give me UCLA.
Oh my God, when Travis Hunter had that ball caught on his head and then carried for 10 yards into the end zone, I was like, come on, man. After all that shit y'all talked, you cannot be getting 29-0 leads blown against Stanford. 2 featured games, 2 huge games. First one, the one that I care the most about every year, Tennessee at Alabama. 18 both these teams need a win to
I know who you're picking.
you know yeah.
I know who you're picking.
Both these teams need a win to keep their hopes for an SEC championship berth alive. Actually, Bama might be able to afford a loss just because the SEC West is not that great.
Well,
Bama doesn't even have any SEC losses.
but they're
yet.
not making the college. They're not making the
playoff. I will say this, Tennessee is going to have to play better than they did last week because they damn near dropped that game to Texas A&M. The defense has looked really good for Tennessee. The offense has to show up. Go Vols. I'm still picking them. I can't.
Still picking Tennessee?
I can't pick it. How? See, everything's telling me to pick Alabama because I don't think Saban will make them lose 2 years in a row to Tennessee. I don't give a shit. I'm taking Tennessee.
For the sake of being different and to keep things interesting.
For the sake of being, you were going to pick Bama anyway. Don't for the sake of being different with me.
I plead the fifth on that one. Yeah, give me Alabama.
All right. The big game. The real big game.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear any, who's going to be second to Michigan talk.
Did you think I was going to do that?
Yes.
I plead the fifth on that one.
Penn State at Ohio State. This is going to be an incredibly good game.
This is going to be a really good game. I don't like either of these teams, but it's going to be a really good game.
I am going with Penn State because they have had weeks to prepare for this. They had a bye week and then they played UMass. That's 2 weeks to prepare solely for Ohio State. And talent-wise, skill-wise, I think they're just as good.
I hate that you picked first because I got to agree with you.
You're also taking?
I'm taking Penn State as well. It's going to be really tough to do it in the shoe, but
I think they can do it. This is a legit
1,000%
Penn State
agree with
team.
you. They've had a lot of time to prepare for Ohio State. They just got off their bye week and everything, And yeah, I think overall they're just a much better team.
I think they're better.
Ohio
I've
State's
watched.
O-line has been concerning for them. I mean, their
IU was
quarterback.
getting pressure on them, man. IU
Yeah.
was like 7-3 at half with Ohio State. I think Penn State's better.
Like, there's just been so many games where Ohio State has just had it a little too close for comfort. Yes, they're still undefeated. Yes, they've still had games where they've completely blown other teams out of the water. But there's been too many games now at this point where it's been like just a little too close for comfort at half, or even coming down to the wire. It's been way too close for comfort. So I got to go with Penn State for this one. They've just blown out every single piece of competition that they've had this year.
Yeah.
And like you said, they've had time to prepare. So I think that they can do it on the road. And it's going to be a huge win for them. Like, this is a big game for both these teams.
Whoever wins, like, they're in the driver's seat with Michigan, because Michigan hasn't played anybody this year.
No, say it. Say it.
Michigan hasn't played anyone this year. We'll see.
No, I'm saying you could say it. Say that they're better than Michigan then. Say it.
I don't actually think that, though. We'll see.
There you go.
Michigan's,
You can't walk the
This
walk.
guy in
You
Michigan,
can't
bro.
walk the walk, man.
We'll see. Michigan ultimately does still have to play both these teams.
Yep,
so
we do.
We'll see. Thank you guys for watching. I will see y'all next time.